I was literally afraid to move from one room in my house to another. Socialization, extremely important, but even more important, I think, is what I'm doing right now. Is talking about it. The stigma, has got to be eliminated. I will talk to anybody about it. If they give me an opening, I will talk their ear. If you're having difficulty, find somebody, talk about it, get it out in the open. It's the best thing for you. And now I'm at the point where I'm happy to say it's subconscious, but if it reappears on the surface, number one, I know what it is. And number two, I know how to deal with it.
Thank you so much, Don, for sharing your experiences. We all need motivation and purpose in life, and the courage to embrace that we still need a purpose. I want to point out that the first step of healing is actually embracing our experiences for what they are, and then finding the courage for self-disclosure. There was a very significant link, about somewhere between 60 to 80% higher risk of patients of suicide risk among patients who've had 4 or more adverse childhood experiences. The long-term effects it leaves on our brain and our body, and how our brain and our body then learn to respond to little things in our lives that just freezes us. So
Trauma is it's a very specific type of experience that overwhelms your ability to cope. One of the biggest types of therapy we have is what's called an exposure therapy. The owning it and the speaking it from start to finish helps your brain kind of absorb that I am not in that stressful situation anymore. I can kind of get to that conclusion, which is where trauma usually gets stuck. Because trauma usually takes away someone's sense of power and control.
So what youth assistance, the core of youth assistance is to provide youth and families with resources in the community, with support to help to mitigate or eliminate delinquency and neglect in Oakland County. We can talk about teachers or talk about counselors at the school, neighbors, family, friends, or whatnot that are interested in the child's life is also huge, because you get more people or the community around those children, a number of people, and they have more people to turn to, more people to talk to, more people to tell their story about, or have a communication about when things do come up, right? One teacher in a low income district, or one facility, or one resource in a low income district can make a huge change or a huge difference in community, child, family, community, all of the above.
not all stress is equally toxic to everybody. Sometimes little things that accumulate and get to a point where the way our brain and our body responds to anything that comes our way shows a traumatic response. How do we differentiate if something is coming our way, if it is dangerous or not? So there's an actual threat, but then there's something called perceived threat. So is our brain and body gotten used to reacting to every stress as a perceived threat? Our ability to live a life is then starts getting governed by these maladaptive maps that we have made in our lives.
Most humans have the capacity to work through those episodes of trauma. So given enough time, given enough support, given enough of those protective factors, they can naturally work through those things.
And that is what is really the biggest barrier, avoidance. And that is why, when we stop avoiding, when we embrace our experiences, we accept them, and we find the courage to do something about them and embrace life then.